So that's your, I think, second biggest accomplishment. Your first would be coming on this podcast, right?
Of course, of course. That's what I was gonna say.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Lab podcast. Today's guest we have Mr. Fabio Gioffre. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good to be here. Happy to be here.
So I'll basically be asking you some questions about art, and yeah. So the first question I have for you is, when did you get into art? So basically, like I'm like in ninth grade, so like when I was 3, I got into art. But there was like coloring book, so I kept on coloring with my crayons till this part was like bruised. So I've basically been in art since like I was a kid. I got serious, I guess you could say, or I kind of got serious when I got to know other artists, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that was like 5 years ago or something. So yeah, now I'm doing art, but like, what about you? Did you get into art since then? Because like that's a long time. Or did you like get into art in like when you were 12 or 13, and when you saw some artists on YouTube or something? Or like, when did you get into art?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always used to draw and stuff when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in high school, in university, I kind of stopped, right? I put my art to the side and started to focus on like business. I was going to go down that route. But even when I was drawing, I was never really amazing at drawing, right? I can never render like nice realistic photos and stuff like that. But I always seemed to like making the drawings move. I always thought that was so cool. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I would even do the stick figures in like Adobe
Yeah, the
Flash.
stick to the fight or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I started doing that when I think like must have been 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah.
But then
Oh, so
after like in university, that's when I started to take it a little bit more serious. After my final year, I kind of realized like, hey, maybe I could do this art as a career because it's something I like. I might as well pursue that.
yeah.
So then I really started to look for a mentor, like really focus on improving my animation skills so that they're up to industry standard. And then it took
Yeah.
me like 3 years from there to get a job.
Oh. Oh, so that's like how you got into art. So, what are your thoughts on YouTube artists? Like, are you really like, do you watch YouTube for getting inspiration when it comes to art, or like for entertainment? Maybe like, do you watch YouTube artists?
Well, I think the only time I would watch YouTube artists would be to try and like learn something about a software or like try and learn how to animate this particular like walk
Right.
cycle or something, right? So I think the main YouTube artist that I used to watch, because I don't really watch too much anymore. We were talking about this before. One was 𝙎𝙖𝙗𝙚, Draw with 𝙎𝙖𝙗. He had
Yeah.
some really awesome tutorials and stuff. He's
Mhm.
kind of different now. He kind of like doesn't do as many tutorials anymore, but
Yeah, it's more like a, what do you say, an entertainment kind of channel.
exactly, he went down the entertainment route, right? But he
Yeah.
started with tutorials.
Yeah, it's like 2 3 years of his channel were mainly tutorials, but then like when he does like Q&As and stuff, he always gets a good like, will you ever do this again? But like I did tutorials for like 3 years. I covered kind of everything. So probably not, but yeah, even like the top artists right now, like there is Vex, then is like 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙤𝙤. They all say like they watch Jazza. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
he's big.
yeah.
He's big. He's probably one of the biggest channels I think around, like art
Yeah,
channels.
yeah, like he can start. He's like the, what do you say, like the legend kind of when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like
been
the
doing it for a
OG
long
kind of
time.
guy. Yeah. So
Do
yeah,
you watch any other artists? Like what other artists are there? I only
oh
literally
yeah,
watch him
I have
and
worked
one
with a
other.
lot of people. They're like these you guys might have not heard them. They're one's name is like Vex, and the other is
Okay.
𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙤𝙤. That 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙤 guy has got 20 million subscribers.
20 million. Jeez.
20 million, and Jessa is at like 5 million. Do you know Mr. Beast, by the way?
Do I what? Pardon?
Do you know Mr. Beast?
No. Is he another YouTuber?
He's got 50 million subscribers. So basically, this 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙚 guy, he's like, okay, so what Mr. Beast does is, right? He gives away like a lot of money. That's his content basically. So 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙚 does the same, but he will like customize the car or something. It's basically
Uh-huh.
like giving away stuff, which has mainly got him in subscribers. But at
That's
first, his
interesting.
art was epic.
That is very interesting, actually. So many different things you can do with art on YouTube.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of things you can like get into when it comes to art. There's just mainly like entertainment now, right? But I do get to know other artists through YouTube, so that is good.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure.
So, like, who is your biggest inspiration? Like, do you have like one artist as an inspiration?
Um, Not really. We were saying before, right? I don't really have a certain artist that I look to inspire me. I kind of try
Mm-hmm.
and take inspiration like from my surroundings, like currently. So at my studio, maybe my supervisors or my directors, I kind of take
Oh, okay.
inspiration from them. My peers that I work with, I grab inspiration from them. And like Instagram, of course, I can just swipe through and see all like a whole bunch of different artists and
Right,
just see what I like, see what I don't like, see do how they create their art. And
right.
a good thing about that is Instagram kind of takes away that barrier, right? So I can
Mhm.
literally message them and say, "Hey, like how did you do this? Are you going to make a process video?" Things like that, and
Oh,
just
right.
and get the dialogue going. But I feel if I'm talking about like classic animation, I love the traditional Disney era. I love that style of
Oh,
animation. If I were to pick some inspiration, I think it would be from that era.
is there a particular type of animation you love? Like, maybe you can give an example of a movie of which animation like you love.
Um, hmm. Actually, my favorite animated movies were from when I was a kid. They were more DreamWorks animation.
Okay.
So the stuff they did, I love that. Like The Road to El Dorado, things like that. Those are kind of my go-to animated movies. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, but is there like this is like a difficult question to any artist, I would say, but is there a particular artwork or an animation that you're very proud of, like your favorite artwork that you've made?
Um, to be honest, not really. With my art, I try and kind of once it's posted, once it's finished, I move on. I pretend it like didn't even happen, because this
Oh,
kind of helps me keep moving forward. It's kind of I don't know if it's a good way to think, but I try not to get too caught up on my artwork in the past. That being said, though, I do have all my old artwork from when I was a little kid, so I do save it all. I just try
yeah,
not to think about it.
yeah. My thing is I like to like I don't like to do big artworks like the ones like time consuming artworks mainly. That's why I'm not like greatly into animation yet. Obviously, I have got it like good softwares and given my best in it. But I made like stick fight animation or something, and I
Yeah, those
think
are cool.
yeah, for me it's like it's too time consuming, right? I like to spend max like 5 hours in one drawing. But yeah, maybe like there might be like this one project or something which I'll spend like a lot of time on. So yeah.
No, you are right, right? You do spend a lot of time put like in your animations, so you might. I mean, it's probably a good idea to take pride in your work after it's done.
Yeah. So yeah. So the thing is
To
like a
do
landscape.
you want to do art as a career?
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I will like always But we have like uncles and aunties who tell me, one like I used to draw so much, and they also show me saying they're not just like blabbering. They're like, yeah, look, I used to draw and like, great drawing. I don't want to be like that. I want to be, look, I'm still drawing. I'm still in this.
Hmm.
So I think it should mainly be I won't let it go. Even if I am doing some business things, I won't let art go. It will always be my fun kind of getaway from
Nice.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can never really stop, even if you maybe not do it as much, but you'll never really stop doing art, I think.
yeah. So yeah, that's that. But do you have any like what do you say advice when it comes to coming up with original ideas or characters or original illustrations?
Um, Let me think. I don't know, because I feel the what's been working for me lately is looking at real life. Like, say I'm looking how to I'm thinking of a background that I want to draw. I'll look up real photos rather than
Right.
other people's art, and that kind of helps me see what I want and kind of create something that isn't really copying other people's stuff.
Right.
Even like character designs, animations. If I'm
Mm.
trying to find a nice like camera angle for an animation that I'm trying to do, I'll maybe look at a movie instead of someone else's animated work or something. I don't know.
Right. Let's take a lot of inspiration from places and this life, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So when it comes to your art career or your journey till now, what is your biggest accomplishment? Like, is that making the first ever commissioned animation, or it might just be your own personal project, like for you, not for everyone else, like for you, which is your biggest accomplishment according to you?
Yeah. I think my biggest accomplishment now is actually breaking into an art studio, like getting a job in a studio.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, because I didn't go to school for art, right? So I taught myself how to animate, how to
Oh,
use the software and things like that. So it was really rewarding when I got my first animation job in a studio, and then seeing that work like on screen, it really
right,
you feel a big sense of pride and accomplishment there.
right. So that's your, I think, second biggest accomplishment. Your first would be coming on this podcast, right?
Of course, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. So yeah, uh, that's the last question. So is there like how could people make their art better?
Make their art better?
Yeah,
That's a very broad question.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
there's there's so much, right? So I
yeah.
think just based on when I try and improve something, I like to focus on a certain aspect. So break it down first of all into what like a little piece, and then focus on that for an extended amount of time. So example, I was trying to draw hands the other week, so I would break it down and literally would draw 100 hands like in one
Ah,
week, 100 hands and stuff like that, right? So you
right.
focus on what you want, and
Right.
um, and just repetition, I guess.
Yeah, that's actually great advice because when I like look at up on YouTube and stuff, like how do you make your art better, like or like those videos, they always like say this, like focus on the thing that you are interested in, take inspiration from here and there, right?
Yeah, how to make your art better is too general of a question. If you're
Mm-hmm.
if you're thinking like that, I feel you're never gonna really improve.
Right.
And also maybe finding like a mentor or something, some
Ah,
person
right.
who you can show your work, who's better than you. That
Like a
really
critic.
will improve, will help you improve.
Yeah. And like how to make your art better. Art itself is like such a broad um thing, like such a broad category. So it's a complicated question, but I think the answer that you gave is probably the one that everyone gives, and it's probably the best one.
Yeah,
So
that's a question that you're never gonna answer, I guess, fully.
yeah. So have you ever had like a bad job experience?
Hmm. Like, honestly, no, I haven't.
No.
I've heard some horrible stories, but
Mhm.
me personally, I have had the best job experiences at
Oh,
every
that's
single
great.
studio I've been to. I've worked with like awesome people, awesome directors, awesome
Right.
showrunners, and it's been really, really great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, like
Yeah. So
I think, yeah, no complaints at all.
that's great.
Sorry, I don't have a cool story, but you know what it is.
No, 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 no. No, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. So yeah, I think this is the last question.
Nice.
So yeah. So when it comes to art, what are your goals in the future?
My goals?
Yeah. Like, is it like getting to a higher stage when it comes to your animation job, or maybe is it you know like being financially nice and then just zooming away and maybe making your own projects, maybe getting big on social media. There's like so much when it comes to art. So like, what is your goal in the future?
Yeah, I think first thing I would love to move up in the studio ranks, like become maybe a lead animator,
Right.
things like that. So improving animation, my animation skills is my number one goal all the time. And then from that, maybe I can branch out and do other things. Like now with the YouTube channel, hopefully I can grow that a bit, get some little a little more autonomy there. Like I'm starting
Yeah.
to make t-shirt designs or something like that. Maybe I can
Oh yeah, I
go
saw
down
the
that route.
smiley one. That was great.
Yeah, exactly. Or even make like an animated short one day. So I still have never done that, and I feel I should do that,
Mhm.
you know? So there are lots of things, lots of things.
Yeah, there's just so much when it comes to art. So yeah, that's thank you. Actually, I have one last question.
Ah,
How do you grow long hair like that?
oh, lots of time, lots of time. Look, and in quarantine I can't get a haircut. So
Right, right.
super long.
Yeah. Mine was like getting like all kept up, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I got
I
two
just
other brothers with
cut
the
it.
same hair. I got two other brothers with the same hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they like into the creative territory?
No, not at all.
No.
No, they one of them is an engineer and the other he's in recruiting. He's in recruiting.
Oh,
Yeah. So not really yeah, I feel they are a little creative, but they don't do that as their job.
yeah. So even like when it comes to my brother, I would like show him my videos and stuff. And one day, like there was this one video I just showed him a lot because I was so proud of it. And then he was like, "Man, listen, I don't care about art. Okay, I
He
don't."
doesn't care.
So
So you won't be
yeah,
having him on the podcast anytime
no,
soon.
no, not
Not at
any,
all.
not anytime soon.
That's funny.
So yeah, just be creative, everyone. And what is like one cliche kind of thing you would like to say, like one advice to maybe maybe like not what do you say, art or like art school type advice. I'm talking like um just be yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically. I mean, most of my experience is with art, but I guess it can be applied to anything. But I think the best advice I can give at this point is just like if you're thinking of doing something, just
Hmm.
do it. You know, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be finished. As long as
Yeah,
it's out there, then you can kind of go from
yeah,
there.
that reminds me like of a quote from Jake Parker. Jake Parker is there on YouTube. I got to know him from YouTube, but he's mainly like an artist.
Okay.
So like once he got big in his animation stuff, I think he started making his own projects and stuff. So yeah, there was this one of his video. It's called "Finished Not Perfect." And it's basically like like finished projects rather than trying to perfect them, right? Which is exactly what he said. Like in this podcast, you said that you like to move on from your drawings, right?
Yeah, you have to. That's how you get better, I think. You
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
if you get stuck on one project, it can go for
Mhm.
months, years, and then you're stagnant, right? So sometimes it's best to just post it and move on.
Yeah, it's also kind of sad because like the people who are like getting into art right now, like at the very beginning, there are like many YouTube artists who are making videos like 1,000. I spent this much hours on one drawing, which is nothing great. It's just that you're spending a lot of time on one piece, which is not going to help you a lot. So people might take inspiration from it. And it's kind of bad looking at it like that, right?
It's I don't know. I just think from my experience from like the whole working on like a TV show in a studio, you have deadlines that you have to meet and you can't. There's really no time
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
to hang on to certain
Mm.
projects or episodes, right? You have to move on. So I took that kind of mentality and I'm like applying it to my personal art as well.
Right. So this is the first guy I had on the podcast. He had suggested me of watching Ethan Becker. He's on YouTube. He just started doing YouTube full time like 3 months ago or something. But he was very famous and stuff. So I think you will relate to him a lot because even he like 3 months ago used to work at an animation studio, and he always is like there's no deadline and exactly this stuff that you kind of said, right? That stuff comes with a lot of experience with like how the world works with art. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So yeah,
if
man.
sure if you're doing it like personally and you don't care, then it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
right? If you're
yeah,
trying to post something or even like uh doing it for a client or something, then it's a whole different world. It's not just making art for yourself anymore.
yeah, yeah. It's also like obviously YouTube is not a job for me. I do it for fun. But when it comes to YouTube, my art kind of becomes like it's not that fun because I have to see that this is coming on the shot, the sketchbook is in the shot, then oh, I need to wrap this up, all the sunlight will go, and the lighting won't be perfect. Then I need to edit this.
Yeah,
So yeah, YouTube kind of takes the fun away when it comes to art. So if it's not your job, it's not that important. It's just, if you're doing it for fun, I think then it's cool, right?
yeah, exactly. For fun, then it doesn't matter. Nothing really matters, right?
Yeah, but if it's like taking your creativity away from you, then just stop.
Yeah, good
That's
advice,
cool,
man.
man. So yeah, thanks for joining me in today's podcast, man.
No, awesome. This is great, man. Good luck. It's so cool that you just started this, 2 episodes in. I look
Yeah,
forward to hearing more.
right, right. Yeah, so like, thank you for sharing your advice and your input when it comes to art and your experience when it comes to art. Thanks for having. Me.
All right, man. Have a good one, eh? I guess it's
Yeah,
nighttime
cool.
there. Have a good night. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
See you
So
later,
yeah,
buddy.
see you later, man. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one in episode 2.
Benjamins in my pocket. I prayed in my